Shalom. Call hello, Yahweh, Bashem MALCHAAMAH, Bashem Rakakwadash. Double honors unto the apostles and the elders. Salutations to all my fellow laborers doing this work in truth and sincerity, risking their lives and their freedom to do so now more so than ever. To the scattered elect that are scattered around the four corners of the earth, that be like unto the speckled bird, the Israelite foreigners. And to the Akwaf that are listening and learning, to you I say Shalom. This is your brother MALCHAAMAH coming at you yet again with a quick lesson. I just want to show you how these people have a false sense of security. As you turn around, they never took the gates down that surround the barriers down, and the barriers that are set up around the city in different places, public places. They never took them down. You know why? Because they knew that they were going to put them back up. You know, and myself and many of the prophets, beginning with the apostles and elders, told you that that around the time that we're in now, coming into August, mid-August, and coming into September, that they were going to lock everything down again, and that's already begun. All right? And the funny thing is that the narrative that they're pushing, all right, it makes no sense. And the more lies that are exposed, the harder they continue to push the lie. And the narrative that they're pushing, it has more holes in it than that fence. All right? But nevertheless, what's in these people's hearts and minds, or your heart is your mind, actually, when you read the Bible, is party and bullshit. All right? And so I'm going to just go straight to the scriptures. This is Proverbs 14 and 13, and it reads, "Even the laughter of the heart is sorrowful, and the end of that mirth is heaviness." And so a lot of these people, the drug use has increased exponentially since these things. And then the anxiety that people are feeling with it coming again. You know, I can only imagine what's going on in the heads of a lot of these business owners, especially the ones who are barely surviving. And now you're going to turn around and you're threatening them with mandates again. You know, I mean, you're threatening them with lockdowns again. They barely, and and many didn't survive, and the ones that are operating in the very, you know, as you see, there's very few places where all the tables are full. Very few. All right. This is Isaiah 24 and 8, and it reads, "The mirth of tabrets ceaseth, the noise of them that rejoice endeth, and the joy of the heart ceaseth." All right, so a lot of this mirth and this partying that's been going on all summer long, people getting lit, getting loose, that's going to end, and you're going to see more increases in overdoses and drugs, more alcohol use. Man, alcohol. Man, if you have money vested in stocks and alcohol, I'm pretty sure you did quite well. You know, as over this last year and a half period, man, because there's a lot of drinking and a lot of drugs, man. All right. This is Isaiah 24 and 11. It said, "There is a crying for wine in the streets. All joy is darkened. The mirth of the land is gone." And it is, and believe me, the measures are gonna become so austere. And as they begin to do like they're doing in Australia, you're gonna have problems, man. You're gonna have a lot of problems with the people. All right. Jeremiah 7 and 34. "Then will I cause to cease from the cities of Judah, the streets of Jerusalem, the voice of the mirth and gladness, voice of gladness, and the voice of the bridegroom, and the voice of the bride, for the land shall be desolate." And in the video that I did just barely 10-15 minutes ago, there was a lovely Jake couple about to enter into a contractual marriage. They're already married, I'm sure. It was looked like a brother. He might have been a Benjamite or a Judite, and he was marrying a Northern Kingdom sister. And but they're singing, you know, unless he happens to be a man of the Lord, which I doubt, because if he was a man of the Lord, he probably wouldn't be going through that whole marriage thing. But nevertheless, he still could be of the elect. I don't know. They both were Israelites, and this time isn't, the door of mercy hasn't completely closed, but I promise you it's closing, and it's closing fast. The doors on this kingdom is closing, and it is closing fast, all right? Jeremiah 16:9. For thus saith Yahweh of hosts, the power of Israel, behold, I will cause to cease out of the place in your eyes, and in your days the voice of mirth, and the voice of gladness, and the voice of the bridegroom, and the voice of the bride. Now, a friend of mine, really good trainer that I used to train with years ago, we actually had a gym about a block from here, going back like 15 years ago. And we were rolling, we were doing it, man. We were doing it big. As a matter of fact, his client, my buddy's client that I'm speaking of, his client used to actually own or manage this outdoor bar right here, and we used to get discounted services here. So we came here a lot back in the day. Spent a lot of time in this park, right around the time they were building that stupid beam, and before. But all and they just opened it up so people all up there around a big metal thing. They call it Cloud Gate, but but the people call it the beam because that's what it looks like. It looks like a giant beam, giant metal beam. All right, and I guess it's the reflections. I hold the camera up. It's the reflections of the skyline that reflects off of it. Let me see if I can zoom in on it. Yeah, the reflections of the skyline. People like to come up there and take pictures and all that sort of thing and hang out there, listen to music and hang out in this spot. But believe me, all the mirth is gonna cease. Like I said in the beginning of this video, they never removed the gates. And now they're gonna come with all these mandates where you're gonna have to have, your papers, your documents, in order to even come in a place like this, which is going to further kill. Because what you're seeing, you see in these couple videos that I did today, you see good amounts of people walking around, but I promise you, it used to be double, if not triple that amount. So that means that this already, this foot traffic is going to thin out even more. All right. So so that just a quick exhortation, And I pray that this was a edifying, uplifting, and informative video. And I'm gonna give all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh by Hashem Yahushai, by Hashem Bakakwadash, Wa Abba Babal, Kwam Yasharala.